Last year, Intel's factory business sold $307 million to customers outside Intel. It lost $10.3 billion. I'm Marlo. Every number in this video comes from a document you can look up, nothing from a press release, nothing from an estimate. Today, it is Intel's Form 10-K for fiscal 2025 and one quarterly filing from this July. What I want to show you is not that Intel is losing money, it is who Intel is selling to. 5 years ago, Intel made one of the largest strategic bets any company has made this century. It would keep designing its own chips, and it would also open its factories to everybody else, become a place where other companies could have their chips made. Intel gave that business a name, Intel Foundry. And from the start of fiscal 2024, it reported it as its own segment, with its own revenue line and its own profit line.
To be fair about the scale of that commitment, between 2019 and 2025, Intel spent $117 billion on property, plant, and equipment. That is after government incentives and after partner contributions, the money Intel itself put in. And the chip business it already had is not a failing business. In 2025, Intel's two product segments, processors for laptops and processors for data centers, earned $12.7 billion in operating income between them. $12.7 billion made on the products. That same year, the company as a whole posted an operating loss of $2.2 billion. The products are not what is losing the money. Here is the Foundry segment. 3 years, straight out of the 10K. 2023, revenue, $18.5 billion. Operating loss, $7.1 billion. 2024, revenue, $17.3 billion. Operating loss, $13.3 billion. 2025, revenue, $17.8 billion. Operating loss, $10.3 billion. Add the three losses, and you get $30.7 billion. Intel prints the loss percentage itself in its own table, negative 38%, then negative 77%, then negative 58%. Now, revenue of $17.8 billion sounds like a business with customers. Read the next paragraph. Of that $17.8 billion, Intel says inter-segment revenue was $17.5 billion. Inter-segment, that is Intel Foundry selling to Intel. External revenue, every customer in the world who is not Intel added together, was $307 million, 1.7%. And this is not me characterizing it. This is Intel's own definition of the segment in the quarterly filing from this July. Intel Foundry's revenue, and I am quoting, consists substantially of inter-segment product and services revenue for wafer fabrication, substrates, and other related products and services sold to Intel products and certain other Intel internal businesses. Sold to Intel internal businesses. That is the company describing its own foundry in the document it files with the regulator. The obvious response is that this is a startup inside a large company, and startups take time. Fair. So look at the year the outside customers arrived. Second quarter of 2025, external revenue was $22 million. Second quarter of 2026, the most recent quarter Intel has filed, $293 million, 13 times bigger in a year. On the face of it, that is the turn. The filing explains where it came from. The increase was, quoting again, primarily due to Altera's transition to an external customer following the deconsolidation of Altera in Q3 2025.
Altera is the chip business Intel bought in 2015 and spent 2025 selling down. It did not become a new customer. It stopped being part of Intel. The filing says primarily, so most of that jump is Altera. Not all of it, and Intel has named Foundry customers elsewhere. My claim is only about this line. The largest single movement in Intel Foundry's outside revenue is a company Intel used to own being recategorized. The filing records what and not why. It does not tell me what Intel intended, and I am not going to invent it. $117 billion of factories built over 7 years. A segment that lost $30.7 billion over the last 3 of them, and an outside customer base that, in the best of those years,
bought $307 million of what the factories make. Look at the revenue line across those 3 years. 18.5 billion, 17.3, 17.8. That is flat. Meanwhile, the operating loss swings from 7.1 billion to 13.3 and back to 10.3.
The revenue is not what is moving. What moves is the cost of running the factories. Intel says the substantial majority of the entire company's depreciation is incurred by this one segment. Add technology development, and add in 2024 $3.3 billion of write-downs on manufacturing assets Intel determined had no remaining use. That is the shape of this business. The revenue is stable because the customer is stable. The customer is Intel, and Intel needs roughly the same number of chips every year. The loss moves because the cost of the factories moves. Which leaves a simple question. A factory that serves one customer is a cost center. A factory that serves the industry is a business. Intel has built the second one, and on the evidence of this revenue line is still operating the first. Two things cut the other way, and leaving them out would make this film dishonest. The first is that the losses are shrinking fast. Second quarter 2025, the Foundry lost $3.2 billion, a margin of negative 72%. Second quarter 2026, $2.1 billion, negative 36%. The loss margin halved in a year. Intel also began high-volume production on its most advanced node at the start of 2026. Both of those are real. The second is the qualifier on the first. A good part of the improvement from 2024 to 2025 is not operations. It is fewer write-downs.
$3.3 billion of impairments in 2024 against $950 million in 2025. The business got better. It did not get better by as much as the headline says. And one more line in the same 10K changes how you read all of it. Intel issued the United States Department of Commerce 275 million shares of its stock and a warrant to buy 241 million more at $20 a share, a warrant that triggers if Intel ever ceases to own at least 51% of Intel Foundry. Intel cannot simply put this business down. That is not my opinion. That is the term sheet in the filing. If you want more of these, another company, another filing, the same rule about where every number comes from, subscribe. That is the only thing I am going to ask you for. No press releases, no estimates, just the documents. Read carefully. I'm Marlo. Go and look it up.